The natural world is full of wonders, a diverse tapestry of life in countless forms. Some of these creatures are beautiful, inspiring awe and admiration with their grace and elegance. Others, well, let's just say they don't inspire quite the same reaction. Today we're going to look at 5 creatures that, I think you'll agree, deserve to be called utterly disgusting. These creatures represent the darker side of nature, invoking fear and revulsion in equal measure. But don't let their unsettling appearance fool you, for within their biology lies a fascinating, if somewhat gruesome, story of survival. So, steel yourselves, dear viewers, as we embark on this journey into the world of the truly disgusting. Our journey into the world of the repulsive begins in the murky depths of the Amazon basin, home to a creature so small, so unassuming, yet so utterly terrifying that it has haunted the nightmares of explorers and locals alike for centuries. This, my friends, is the candiru, a tiny parasitic catfish with a gruesome claim to fame. The candiru, you see, is a fish that lives by a rather unsettling motto: any orifice will do. This minuscule monster has a rather unfortunate habit of swimming into the gill openings of larger fish and lodging itself there, using its sharp spines to feed on the blood of its unwilling host. Now you might be thinking, well David, that's unpleasant for the fish, but I'm not a fish, so I'm safe, right? But that's where the true horror of the candiru lies. This tiny terror has a particular fondness for a certain bodily fluid, one that humans, unfortunately, produce in abundance: urine. The stories abound, whispered around campfires and recounted in hushed tones, of unsuspecting individuals relieving themselves in the Amazonian waters, only to find themselves the victim of a most unfortunate intrusion. The candiru, it seems, is attracted to the scent of urine, mistaking it for the stream of a fish's gills, and once it sets its sights on its target, it wastes no time in making its move. The candiru, with its slender, almost translucent body, is perfectly adapted for squeezing into tight spaces, and once inside, it uses its sharp spines to anchor itself in place, making removal a rather painful and, dare I say, delicate procedure. So, what can one do to avoid such an unpleasant encounter? The answer, my friends, is simple: avoid urinating in the Amazon River. From the depths of the Amazon, we travel now to the world of insects, where another horrifying creature awaits: the botfly. The botfly itself is, thankfully, not the one that inflicts the horror. It's the larvae, those wriggling, squishy embodiments of our worst nightmares, that truly earn the botfly its place on our list of the disgusting. The female botfly has a rather ingenious, if somewhat repulsive method of ensuring the survival of her offspring. Instead of laying her eggs directly on a host, she seeks out an intermediary, often another insect like a mosquito or a tick. Once she's found a suitable accomplice, she lays her eggs on its body, attaching them with a kind of biological glue. When the unsuspecting mosquito or tick lands on a warm-blooded mammal, let's say for instance a human, the botfly eggs sense the change in temperature and hatch. The tiny larvae then burrow their way into their new host's skin, creating a small boil-like swelling. And here they remain, feeding on the host's flesh and growing plumper by the day. The host, meanwhile, might notice a slight itching or irritation, but often the presence of the botfly larvae goes unnoticed, at least for a while. Eventually, after several weeks of feasting on their host's flesh, the larvae will reach maturity and drop out of the skin, burrowing into the ground to pupate and eventually emerge as adult botflies, ready to start the cycle all over again. The thought of having these creatures living under your skin is, I'm sure you'll agree, utterly repulsive. Insect repellent is your best friend in botfly territory, and wearing long sleeves and pants can also help to deter these persistent pests. Our next encounter takes us to the murky depths of ponds, lakes, and slow-moving streams where a creature of stealth and unsettling persistence makes its home: the leech. These slimy, wriggling creatures have haunted our imaginations for centuries, their names synonymous with bloodletting and all things parasitic. Now, while the image of a leech latching onto your skin and draining your lifeblood might send shivers down your spine, it's important to remember that not all leeches are created equal. In fact, of the hundreds of species of leeches found worldwide, only a small number actually feed on human blood. But those that do, well, they've certainly earned their reputation. Leeches are masters of disguise, their dark, flattened bodies blending seamlessly with the muddy bottoms of their watery homes. They lie in wait patiently, sensing the vibrations of approaching prey, their tiny, sucker-like mouths poised for action, and when that unsuspecting victim, be it a fish, a frog, or yes, even a human, brushes past, the leech strikes with astonishing speed, Using its razor-sharp teeth, it slices through the skin, its sucker-like mouth creating a tight seal that's surprisingly difficult to break. Leeches have evolved a cunning trick to ensure their meal goes unnoticed. They inject an anesthetic into the wound, numbing the area and preventing the host from feeling a thing. And as if that weren't enough, the leech also releases a powerful anticoagulant into the bloodstream, preventing the blood from clotting and ensuring a steady flow for its gruesome feast. If you're planning on venturing into leech-infested waters, it's a good idea to wear protective clothing such as long pants tucked into socks to create a barrier between your skin and these persistent bloodsuckers. Our journey into the world of the disgusting now takes us to the African continent, home to a creature whose bite is far more dangerous than its size might suggest, the tsetse fly. This small, unassuming insect might look like any other fly, but don't let its appearance fool you, for within its bite lies a silent killer, African trypanosomiasis, more commonly known as sleeping sickness. The tsetse fly is, unfortunately, not too discerning when it comes to its meals. Unlike mosquitoes, which are primarily attracted to the carbon dioxide we exhale, the tsetse fly is drawn to movement, warmth, and certain colors, making any warm-blooded animal, including humans, fair game. And when it bites, it does so with a painful, stabbing proboscis that slices through the skin, injecting a potent cocktail of saliva that contains, among other things, the microscopic parasites that cause sleeping sickness. These parasites, known as trypanosomes, enter the bloodstream and begin their insidious journey through the body, eventually making their way to the central nervous system. The initial symptoms of sleeping sickness are often flu-like, with fever, headaches, and joint pain. But as the parasites multiply and spread, the symptoms become more severe. Confusion, disorientation, and extreme fatigue set in, eventually leading to the hallmark symptom of the disease, an overwhelming, uncontrollable urge to sleep even during the day. If left untreated, sleeping sickness is invariably fatal, with the parasites causing irreversible damage to the brain and other vital organs. The good news is that there are effective treatments available, but early detection is key. Wearing light-colored clothing, as tsetse flies are attracted to dark colors, can help to deter these persistent pests. Our final encounter brings us back home, to a creature that haunts our nightmares and makes even the most welcoming bed seem like a den of horrors, the bedbug. These tiny nocturnal insects are the stuff of legends, their very name whispered in hushed tones and met with shudders of disgust. Bedbugs, you see, are the ultimate parasites, their entire existence revolving around one thing, human blood. They are masters of stealth, hiding in the tiniest crevices of our homes, lurking in mattresses, bed frames, even behind picture frames, waiting for the cover of darkness to emerge and feed. And when they do, they leave behind an itchy red trail of bites that can drive even the most stoic individual to distraction. Bedbugs are attracted to the warmth of our bodies and the carbon dioxide we exhale, and once they've found a suitable host, they waste no time in sinking their piercing mouthparts into the skin, drawing out a meal of blood. Now, you might think that a bedbug infestation is a sign of poor hygiene, but I assure you that's simply not the case. Bedbugs are equal opportunity offenders infesting homes of all shapes and sizes, from the most opulent mansions to the humblest of dwellings. They are expert hitchhikers, traveling on luggage, clothing, even in the spines of library books, spreading from one unsuspecting host to another. The good news is that bedbugs are not known to transmit any diseases, but their bites can be incredibly itchy and in some cases even trigger allergic reactions. And let's not forget the psychological toll that a bedbug infestation can take, the constant fear of being bitten, the sleepless nights spent searching for those telltale signs of their presence. When traveling, inspect your luggage carefully before bringing it inside, and wash your clothes in hot water after returning home. If you suspect you may have brought bedbugs home with you, contact a pest control professional immediately to nip the infestation in the bud. And so, our journey into the world of the disgusting comes to an end. We've encountered creatures that swim, crawl, fly, and burrow, each one uniquely adapted to exploit the resources of our world, often at the expense of our comfort or even our health. But while these creatures might inspire fear and revulsion, it's important to remember that they are simply a part of the natural world, playing their role in the intricate web of life. Understanding their habits, their habitats, and the risks they pose is the first step in avoiding unwanted encounters. Stay safe and informed, and remember, knowledge is your best defense against these disgusting creatures. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more survival tips and fascinating facts.